This episode of Capes and Lunatics is brought to you by Tweaked Audio. Get awesome headphones, go to tweakedaudio.com and use the coupon code Southgate to get 30% off, free shipping, and a lifetime warranty. Or you can get there through the link on our website, southgatemediagroup.com.
This is Brian Edward Hill, and you're listening to the Capes and Lunatics podcast.
No, this isn't an episode of the Quantum Zone. I don't know, maybe just because I thought this music will, speaks cosmic, since we always talk about Quasar with this, but yeah, every episode of Captain Marvel, which this is, I've been playing this too, that's right, Captain Marvel, episode 3.
That's our cosmic music. It's our cosmic music.
This time we're talking Genis-Vell, son of Marvel, who I talked to on episode 1 with Matt Kona. Episode 2, we talked to Monica Rambeau, Charlie Esser, and now this Quantum Zone music is fitting because talking Genis-Vell with me is Master of the Quantum Zone.
I'm Will Allred. Hey, everyone.
A real professor this time, Charlie Esser.
Oh,
wait till this holiday. This holiday special is going to be nuts. That's right, everyone. Stay tuned the end of December for our holiday special with hopefully every Capes and Lunatics and Capes and Lunatics sidekicks host. But tonight we're talking, as I said, Genis-Vell, son of Marvel.
Mm-hmm.
So, Will, when did you first become aware of Genis-Vell?
That would have been his first appearance in the Silver Surfer annual. What number was that?
6.
6.
Yep.
That one. Yep, that one right there.
Yep.
I love
1993.
Ron Lim on the Silver Surfer. That was awesome.
Oh yeah.
He was on there forever, really long time. So yeah, I first ran across him there, and I'll be honest, I don't think I was supposed to like him, and I think they succeeded in making me not like him.
Well, yeah, I mean, you even made that comparison. You said the 90s was like a big time when, they replaced the older heroes with like younger versions. At DC, they had started doing that. I mean, they had already replaced Barry Allen with Wally West, and just like with Genis-Vell, like when he first started, he was kind of a jerk, had a chip on his shoulder.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I mean that carried over into the. What, did he have a legacy run, or was there a Captain Marvel series right after that? I can't remember which.
Well, after the Surfer stuff?
Yeah.
He had he had a Captain, they called it Captain Marvel.
Captain Marvel, yeah. Mm-hmm.
But Fabian Nicieza, my old buddy, wrote that. Yeah, it only lasted 6 issues, although they, in the later series by Peter David, they kind of told you what they would have done in, issues 7 through 12.
Okay, nice. I haven't read that part. I did skim back through those, and I'm like, wow, the 90s. The art. Storytelling.
The last week or so, I read a ton of these because I read the first appearance. I read an issue of Silver Surfer. I read the 6 issues of this, and then I read all the Peter David stuff and all the Thunderbolts. Well, the Thunderbolt stuff with Genis in it.
So the 2 Peter David series, one of them went to like 35.
They were back to back, yeah, but they renumbered, but they kept the original numbering on the second series.
Oh, okay, cool.
So yes, it was 35 issues and then 25 issues. So Will Allred, the magic cosmic number, 60 issues. Yes, it seems like our cosmic characters get 60 issues. Yes, first Quasar, then Genis-Vell.
I guess unless you're the Silver Surfer, right? The first cosmic character.
I guess if you're a cosmic guy who's human or appears human and you have bands on your arms,
you get 60. Yep.
You get 60. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, like, I was in and out on Surfer, so I kind of missed like Genis's first appearances. Like, I went back and got them, but yeah, I first discovered them on the Fabian series, the original. Because I think I had to go back and even get issue 1 and 2, because I remember walking into the store and seeing issue 3.
Yeah.
Just, no, it's so 90s. Like,
so 90s.
No background on this. No background on this thing. It's just a light background.
Do they have feet drawn on them?
Oh, yeah. I don't, okay. Yeah, this wasn't Liefeld drawing this.
Okay.
No, it's just a plain white cover. Genis-Vell going at, Was it Adam X?
I can't remember who that is. Yeah,
I believe it's Adam X. Oh, Extreme. His name's Extreme, but I think it was like they called him Adam X too. People, it's like a guy with a ponytail with like a backward hat and
an axe and
bunch of sharp weapons. Yeah,
yeah.
So 90s.
That's like peak 90s. Does he have lots of pouches too? Maybe that's pretty 90s, right?
No, I don't know about pouches, but it looks like he has like a bunch of like boomerangs or something. Or are there supposed to be more knives? But yeah, so I don't know. We're kind of skimming over this, but yeah, Genis-Vell, like we said, he's kind of the son of Mar-Vell. Mm-hmm. He was kind of created through artificial insemination, and
then artificially aged by
because he was kind of like created after Mar-Vell died.
Yes, she got DNA, I think, from him, and then artificial insemination, and then rapidly aged him. Yeah, which is
aged him up and gave him fake memories. You know, they aged him up to protect him from his dad's enemies. So basically, aged him up to what was it, 17 or 18? Yeah.
Yeah, he had a kind of a real. I don't know if they were. I don't know if Fabian was going for this or not, but he kind of had this punk vibe to me. It felt like, I'm not going to play all the games. And
well, Fabian didn't create him, as we'll get to in the email he sent me. They wanted him, I guess, in on the ground floor, and I guess he was busy with, the 50 things he was doing in the 90s.
Yeah.
So who wrote the Surfer Annual? But like Fabian came in with the first ongoing series, but he wasn't there from like day one. So
I think maybe it said in the first issue of Captain Marvel.
Legacy, created by Ron Mars and Ron Lim.
Yep, Ron Mars. I remember seeing that somewhere. Yep.
Also, I did some work on Green Lantern in the 90s. So
another replacement hero. Yeah.
Yes.
Kyle Rayner.
Yeah.
Jordan. Yep. Yeah. I don't know. Now, did he start out? Because I'm a little confused on this. I know. So my first exposure was, of course, the Silver Surfer Annual, but then I kind of ignored him, honestly, until Avengers Forever. Now, Avengers Forever, gorgeous Carlos Pacheco art, Kurt Busiek room.
Oh, yeah.
The Destiny War. Avengers Forever is the Destiny War, right?
Yep.
That right there is awesome.
That's the last issue. Yep.
Did he start out with white hair?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. In the Surfer Annual, because that's kind of what happened too. Is because Mar-Vell started off with white hair too.
That's right. Yeah, and then he went blonde after he was.
I think when Eon gave him the cosmic awareness and all that. Yeah.
Which is really interesting because we had chatted about this a little bit before. Genis has probably been Captain Marvel nearly as long as Mar-Vell was Captain Marvel, right? I mean, it's got to be close.
Well, since it's late, let me whip out the calculator here. Because Mar-Vell died in 83, right?
I think so. Here, I'll do a quick Google search.
And I'm pretty sure me and Kona were talking about was it 68? So either 67 or 68. So 15 or 16 years he was probably Captain Mar-Vell was probably Captain Marvel. Genis. When was that when was he in the Thunderbolts? It was probably around 2005, right? Because it was right around Civil War.
Mm-hmm. I think so. So it was probably not as close as I was thinking it was, because then after the Thunderbolts dissection thingy that I read about, then Carol Danvers came back in and took over, right?
Yeah. Well, I took 2005 minus 1993. Wait, 2005 minus 1993. I'd say 12. It's close. I mean, Mar-Vell might actually have a year or two on him, but it's pretty close.
Yeah, he was December. Mar-Vell showed up in December of 67 and died in 82.
Oh, okay.
So, really close.
It's
kind of interesting because...
Yeah, because I don't think they planned it that way.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of those replacement heroes, Kyle Rayner lasted as Green Lantern for, almost 10 years, right?
Yeah, I mean, Wally West was the Flash from 87 till they brought Barry Allen back 2009 or 10. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. So, those are, I guess, the three most successful. You have other ones like War Machine, Rhodey, and then all that
Oh yeah, U.S. Agent, War Machine, Thunderstrike. Yeah.
Tis the season, right? Or was the time? I don't know.
It's a cliche now. Everyone gets replaced or gets a
Mm-hmm. Yep, absolutely.
But so you said you didn't read the Fabian run?
Not when it came out. I glanced through it not too earlier this week. So,
okay, but that's when that's when he first meets Rick Jones. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And that's something else. I guess we could get, if you want to start getting into his series, or do you want to talk about that 6 issues first?
We could do this. We could do the 6 issues. It's basically, again, it got cut short because it was supposed to go longer than 6. But as Fabian was saying in the email, they kind of, the market was kind of weird at that point.
Mm-hmm. That was around the time of the crash, probably. It was like 95, 96.
Yeah. Yes. But I kind of jumped on this because, like I said, I walked into the store one day, I saw it.
Captain Marvel.
And like I said, it was right after Quasar, after we lost our Quasar series that we love so much. So it was kind of like my replacement for the Cosmic stuff, Because like I said, I was kind of in and out on the Surfer, but Genis with his classy "Kiss Me, I'm Cree."
Sticker.
Yeah, on the back of his pants. Yeah,
his bumper sticker, I guess.
But I think it was on all of these. I don't know how closely you looked at the credits, because like we said, of course, it was like Fabian Nicieza writing these. And did you see who the editor was?
No. Who was the editor?
Grunwald.
Well, that's interesting.
Yeah,
actually, that's somewhat surprising because I'm a little shocked because the art is really hard to follow in a lot of those things. It's like peak 90s style over clear storytelling, at least in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Some of it looks nice, but it's really kind of muddy. Maybe it's the coloring at the time. I don't know. Something's weird about it. It just looked weird.
It's like that's when they were changing like the quality of the paper too and stuff.
Oh yeah.
Some of them were like that glossy paper. Because I think some of the books at that time suffered from like, I don't know if it was like coloring like the methods or
because some of it's muddy and there's not a lot of I don't know, there's just something about it that I'm like, okay, I'll read it, but it's not the clearest.
Because because I didn't even know if it was just like the different artists. Because there's like issues of like Spider-Man Clone Saga when like I don't know, it's just the inking makes it look too dark and too
something. Something about it.
I just think there's sign of the times, but yeah, so that series gets cut off after only 6 issues, which bummed me out because again I was like, lost another Cosmic.
Oh God, right to the heart.
But like I said, we'll get to that. Fabian talks about that, but and they also explain when we get to the first Peter David series. I think it's like, what is it, issue 13 or 14? There's like a guest. There's like a one shot. It's like guest written by Fabian himself.
Oh, well, cool.
And it's kind of Genis and Rick Jones talking about Genis starts talking to him about stuff that happened before they got bonded. So that's kind of like Fabian telling you, this is what would have happened in issue 7 through 12.
Summary time.
It's pretty cool because it involves Thanos and stuff. It's pretty sounded it. But yeah, I don't think we got much Genis after the series until Avengers Forever.
Yep, exactly. And then that's just spectacular.
Basically what, like a team of Avengers from like pulled from all different eras of like Avengers history, and
and you had Songbird, who was a Thunderbolt at the time.
Yeah, she was like a future Avenger. Yeah,
future Avenger. Yeah, and then Captain Marvel, pulled in.
And I think wasn't this like them trying to clean up a lot of continuity, like Kang Immortus and Vision, Human Torch.
Yeah, absolutely. Because Human Torch
they both got all split in half.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, okay, I guess that explains it, but why? Anyway, whatever.
Was the original Human Torch turned into the Vision, or what? But he showed up later. How's that possible? Yeah. Oh, King Solomon! They just cut him in half.
Yeah, we're gonna temporarily split him. There we go. Magic-y solved.
But we also get.
We get a great Hawkeye in there, from the 70s era Hawkeye.
Skirt wearing Hawkeye, yeah.
And then, this is I'm weird. I know, but I'm going to freely admit this. I have always loved Ant-Man. I love Ant-Man. I liked Hank Pym as Ant-Man, but he's had so many other identities. I just like Hank Pym, but Scott Lang Ant-Man is freaking awesome. When he first showed up in the Iron Man in the early 80s, Bob Layton, yeah, that was pretty awesome. But yeah, the whole team in that's good. They've got the Wasp in there.
Yellow Jacket.
I believe the Wasp was the current current timeline Wasp, right?
Yeah, Wasp, and was this Hank Pym Giant Man or Goliath? Whatever he was going by at that point. Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
Because this was like right after, Kurt Busiek.
Yeah, right after Heroes Reborn.
Yeah, it was like
Heroes Return. Sorry, yeah.
Yeah, it was like a year out. Yeah, like a year in or something. Yeah, this miniseries. Yeah, so it was like the current Wasp and Giant Man, and we get a future Genis-Vell.
Exactly. Yeah.
Captain Marvel, going all starry faced, cosmic awareness.
Yep. Now that's something that's always kind of confused me. On the quasar, right? On the quasar side, there's one set of quantum bands.
Yes.
One. But what are there like? Is there like somebody on Palma selling, or the Kree home? That's Palma, right? Selling just like at a stand, like here's some negabands, dude, because there's been so many pairs of them.
I don't know how easy or how hard it is to make negabands, but like, again, back to Genis's first appearance in Silver Surfer Annual, number 6. He originally gets the bands. His mother has them made. Like, she has to sell like I think it's like a necklace Marvel gave her, but she's like, I wanted to like give you your legacy.
Yeah. Legacy.
And so like his mother has them made for him. So I don't know how easily it is to make those, because like in Operation Galactic Storm, which we'll get to on the Quantum Zone.
Yes.
Another fine product. Yes. Aren't people like trying to rob Marvel's grave for the negabands?
Yeah, they want another set of negabands so they can make the nega bomb, which is kind of the overarching arc for the whole Operation Storm. Yeah, but
then it's like later a pair gets made for Genis. It's like okay,
okay. But if they can make them, why would they try to go rob? Anyway, yeah.
So we might get to that. So yeah, we'll get to Operation Galactic Storm eventually on our other show, the Quantum Zone.
Yeah. What about our Quasar podcast, the Quantum Zone?
What about our Quasar podcast?
Had to get Kona in there.
Yeah, I got to get Kona in there. Who hopefully will be back safely soon, right?
Yes, yes.
Traveling abroad. So yeah, the nega bands have always confused me. That's why I guess I've kind of more been drawn to the quantum bands, because there's the one, and you.
Yeah, and they're like they're bonded to you, but
yeah.
As we'll get to
much later.
First with Marvel now, and then at this point with Genis, because yes, it's a future version of Genis, and Rick Jones is with them, gets injured, has to bond with Genis, just like he did with Marvel, his father.
Yeah.
And then when they get back to the present, they see Rick Jones is like, "Ooh, what's with these nega bands on my wrist?"
Ding!
like I'd never worn these before.
Yeah, wonder what will happen. Duh.
And they're like, "Yeah," they're like, "No, okay." Like Giant Man the Wasp are like, "No, don't." And then he like, it pulls the present day Genis in and bonds him with the present day Rick.
Yep, and boom,
changes his appearance and everything.
And we have the launch of a new book for Marvel.
And he's like, Rick Jones. But, yeah. So again, yeah, the quantum bands stay with the users, like as we've seen Quasar, but like the nega bands stay with whoever's on Earth.
Yeah, it's this weird.
And they trade places.
Yeah, supposedly it was moving one to the negative zone. Wasn't it to heal him originally?
Yeah, it was to heal him, and like when Rick and Marvel did it, like they had a time, like Marvel could only be on Earth for like 3 hours or something.
Yeah, there was a time limit. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, with Genis there was no time limit. And I know you said you were reading up a little bit. Do you remember? Look, I have the variant. It's like worth $60.
Nice.
I know, but I like I said, Marvel and Rick switched out of the negative zone. It wasn't the negative zone they were switching out of. Do you remember where Genis and Rick were switching out of?
Oh. No, it's been a while since I read that issue. Those issues.
The microverse.
Microverse.
Yeah.
Oh, So did he bring the Micronauts in? Because I didn't read the whole run.
Yes. There was an arc. It was like issues. What was it? 4, 5, and 6. Yeah. There was a couple Micronauts and Drax.
Okay. Oh yeah, Drax, and then also we get Spider-Man 2099 later in the series, right?
Yeah, because there's like a time travel thing. Yes. Oh yeah, he brings in. Peter David brings in like all his stuff. There was like a weird time travel story where it's like Spider-Man 2099, Maestro.
Yeah, from the Hulk. Yeah.
Old man Rick Jones from the Future Perfect story.
Yeah.
And then like he explains who Thanatos was from his Spider-Man 2099 run.
Gotta tie up those loose ends, right?
Yeah. Spoilers! It was a alternate future version of Rick Jones.
Everything comes up Rick Jones. Right?
He loves Rick Jones because when he wrote Hulk, Rick was in most of that run.
Yep.
Him and Marlowe. He loves Marlowe. Well, Peter David created Marlowe. But yeah, no, like. And then in Peter David's run, there's this girl. She has like this weird cosmic powers where she can like basically make like anything happen. It's weird because like eventually he explains like she was conceived in like the swamp by the nexus of all realities.
Man thing.
Somebody got the man thing. Yeah. But so they and I guess the weird thing about like just her existence, like altered stuff. That's why when Rick and Genis got bonded, they were switching out of the microverse, not the negative zone.
Oh, okay. Strange.
Yeah, very, very convoluted, but yeah, he came up with it.
Well, okay, so do you have the first issue or there was a Zero issue too, if I remember right? What's it?
Yes, it came with Wizard Magazine. I do have that.
Right. Yeah.
Because I even saw online the other day. I think it's worth at least $3 or $4, I believe, because it was free with Wizard. Yes.
Yep, that's right. I remember some of that story. It's kind of like a little introduction. And
yes,
then you get
it kind of gives you
issue,
it kind of gives you the summary of like how they got bonded in Avengers Forever, and like Genis's cosmic. He can't shut off his cosmic awareness, so he's like seeing stuff before it happens.
Yes, that's right. Yep.
Rick Jones making jokes about him being Will Smith, but anyway.
Yeah. Yes.
It was interesting. Issue 11 of that first series, thanks to like a time rip. Again, after they deal with that girl who had cosmic powers, who basically then just wished them away. There's a rip in time. It's like another universe. Genis finally gets to meet his father, kind of.
Wait, is that a Starlin cover?
Yeah. Starlin drew this issue. Yeah.
Cool.
And it's weird because he gets to meet his father like in another reality, and after he leaves, they reveal in this reality, like Mar-Vell's still dying of cancer at the end, but he's dying alone because in this reality, he didn't stop Thanos from destroying half the universe.
Oh,
so our half of the universe. There's planets there, but the population's like gone. Mar-Vell's like, oh, it's nice to know. He's like, I thought I was going to die old and alone with nothing to show for my life, but I'm glad that somewhere out there I have a son, and in that universe, everybody lived.
Yeah. Thank goodness. In our universe, right?
Yes. Yeah. But no, like 3 issues later, issue 14, Fabian was guest writer for an issue, and that's when he kind of explained, he explained, they went over his 6 issues, but then they explained.
Yeah, because in the 6 issues, he was framed or duped into blowing up a Shi'ar moon or world,
a space station or something. Yeah. Yeah, they kind of quickly go into that, and they were kind of setting something else up, like Genis's mother had died, and like the Grand Master was visiting people, but they never got into that. Mm-hmm. So he was saying there was going to be like this big poker match with Thanos and Genis and a bunch of other people. And it's like, I guess the winner got to go to like the realm of the dead or something and bring somebody back.
Oh, okay.
And
that's why his mother's still alive, right?
And Eric was like, okay, so you brought your mother back. And he was like, yeah, but at the time he didn't even know she had died yet. He was going to the realm of the dead. A friend of his what was it? I think his friend's mother had died, so he was going for his friend's mother, discovers his mother there. And Rick's like, well, what did you do? He's like, well, I got them both out. And he's like, how? And he's like, well, I had to kind of make a deal with Thanos.
Oops.
And Rick's like, you paid that debt off before we got bonded, right? And Genis doesn't say anything. He's like, oh, crap.
Yeah, you don't want to mess with Thanos.
I don't think they ever paid that. I don't think Fabian or anybody even paid that off because he was.
Yeah, it's just one of those.
Because again,
that's still out there.
Thanos shows up a couple issues after this, and I don't think but Peter David's writing in it. I don't think it ever gets brought up.
Well, now, if I remember right,
but in this issue, like Genis says about he gets attacked by this assassin who I guess whose sister was on that space station that he got framed in the blowing up.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And it's like, her soul couldn't die until the assassin killed him. So he kind of does this trick where he lets the assassin kind of kill him, but he uses the negabands to open like a aperture in his body, so
it goes through. Yeah,
but he still cheats because his heart stops for at least like a second or two, so he technically dies. So the assassin's sister, yeah. But in that second, when his heart stops, he sees Eon.
Oh, cool.
And Rick's like, I didn't think you got the cosmic awareness until we got bonded. And he's like, yeah, it was kind of like a preview of stuff to come. So, Eon appeared to Mar-Vell and gave him the cosmic awareness.
And that was it. Yeah, that was it. He just said, here, go fight Thanos. And then he was gone.
But I don't think Eon even appears to Genis. I think that 2 seconds when his heart stops, he gets like a hallucination of Eon, and that's it.
Well, actually, would that have been Eon or would that have been Epoch? Because Eon would have been dead by this time, right?
That's what I thought too, but it's like, he says, I had an epiphany, and Rick Jones says, it looked like two mushy heads smashed together, and Rick says, Eon, and Genis is like, basically, it's him, so.
Okay.
Unless he confused Eon for Epoch,
Yeah.
I don't know.
That is a good question.
Maybe Fabian just made a mistake. I don't know.
Well, and we haven't seen much of Epoch even. Once before Quasar's series ended, we barely saw her. From like 40 on, and then since then nothing.
Reincarnation? I don't know. Oh, I forgot. And after that issue, they did a second storyline in the Microverse with Drax and the Micronauts and Psycho Man.
Sweet.
Because I do remember, because it's a way to catch people up, the readers up, because anytime Genis didn't know something, and since Rick's been around so long, he's like, Rick, who's this person? Who's that person? Because I remember he asked Rick, he goes, Psycho Man? And Rick's like, isn't that like a Black Sabbath album?
Maybe. I don't know.
And then the issue of...
That's volume 3, right? That we're looking at the covers on?
I believe
Okay, cool.
So, yeah.
Because there was the first one, and then the 6th issue was the second one. Volume 3 would have been this one, right? Because it's up to 35, I think, or...
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's really weird. But yeah, then the Thanos storyline where Peter David kind of cheats because they're fighting a death god who basically ages Rick Jones, takes off one of his arms.
Okay.
So a couple issues after this, that's not years and years from now. It's a couple issues after this. That's when Rick Jones gets pulled into Avengers Forever and then thrown back 2 seconds later. Because he's sitting there having a conversation with Marlo. He disappears for 2 seconds and comes back. And she's like, what happened? He's like, I was pulled into my past. That happens from time to time.
It just happens, yeah. Wow, okay.
Because they're trying to de-age him again, and they're using tachyons or whatever. So Genis starts seeing his future, and that's when he sees himself married to Songbird and stuff, and how they're gonna have 2 kids and stuff.
Which never happens.
Well, no, it really doesn't. But we kind of get in the in the next series. We kind of get into that towards the end. We'll get to that in a couple minutes. But yeah, a lot of stuff.
Do you have a number 25 there of that volume?
Oh, this one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of when like the Supreme Intelligence kind of tries to de-age Rick, and it seems like it doesn't work. But then in the next issue, which was Enough Said month, when they did all the silent issues, it was like the Christmas issue, and Rick eventually, it's like a delayed effect. Eventually, he gets de-aged.
I think that they make fun of Quasar in the letter column of number 25.
Oh,
I think.
I'm trying to remember. Yeah, now that you mention that, I do remember. I remember. Oh yeah. Because look, top of the letters page.
Yeah.
There he is. Oh no, because they actually had Wendell like answering letters, I guess.
Yeah.
Because he says, "Hi everybody, my name's Wendell, but you might know me as Quasar." No, you don't? Seriously? Wow. Well, I'm an Avenger. Still doesn't ring a bell, eh? I had my own monthly series back in the 90s. Okay, so did everyone else. You got me there. Let's see. I changed my costume a lot, wore a headband for a while, visited the new universe. My mentor was a cosmic tree stump. Yeah, that Quasar. Don't leave.
See? I'm like, oh, come on, man.
Oh, wait. You know why he was in here? Because they're like, what's Quasar doing here, you ask? Well, they sort of solicited this issue of Captain Marvel under the pretense that I was going to be in it. Quasar fans everywhere rejoiced, all 12 of you. Okay, now I remember why I was mad at this issue. Okay.
Yeah. Me too.
He says, but then this whole Kang War thing happens as chronicled in the recent Avengers issue, so it was around the whole Kang thing.
Yeah.
And the other Avengers and I got stuck in space, and then wham, I'm unable to lend Genis a hand during his big 25th issue celebration. We were going to send Jack of Hearts in my place, but Peter didn't want him. Sorry, Jacko. Well, at least everyone was getting shrapnel.
Yeah, everybody's getting slagged on, right?
Oh, he says, so the other day I got back to the Avengers orbiting monitor asteroid that I've been hanging out at, and there's an email from Tom Brevoort saying I'm legally bound to appear in this issue because of the solicit. Can you believe it? So we barter back and forth a bit, and to make a long story short, we decide I'm going to do the letters page. Isn't that just the greatest? Anyone, hey, wake up. There, that's better now. It's time for the letters. So yeah, he answered all the letters.
And I think that points to, I really liked the artist on these Captain Marvel series. It was just really clean, great storytelling. Yeah.
Or was it the crisscross art?
I think it was, crisscross. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I guess I don't know. I guess Peter David's sense of humor kind of wore thin after a while. Because the characters were just.
Well, it was really weird too because I know Peter David said like. He wrote for like when he knew he was going to have a specific artist, he tried to write for their strengths.
Yeah.
Because when we get to this next series of Genis-Vells, the site, like he said, he wrote for Crisscross because I think he started with Crisscross, and all of a sudden they changed his artist, and he's like, yeah, the script didn't seem as good because I wrote for Crisscross, but it wasn't Crisscross drawing
the art. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, then we get the Time Flies arc. That time travel one was Spider-Man 2099.
Yep.
Then they rebooted the series. It was weird. The end of the first series, they kind of had Rick Jones' wife go off. I swear it was like a plot device to get rid of her, but she went off with Moondragon because it seemed like they were falling in love with it, whatever.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh, and when did Phyla show up in this series, or was it the next one?
It's the next one.
Next one. Okay. Sorry, spoilers.
Yeah, but yeah, because that was the other thing. Because the next series starts, Marlowe's out of the way. It's just Rick Jones and Mar-Vell. The cosmic awareness starts driving Mar-Vell insane, or supposedly, because he's like killing guys
and saving this person. But if he saves this person, then this person is going to lead to somebody that is going to kill lots of people. But I remember that issue. He just goes nuts.
Oh, it's many issues. He's like, I'm a god, so let's go visit Thor. Then he gives a serial killer like cosmic powers, and there's a Spider-Man guest appearance. It gets wacky. It's like when Mar-Vell first appeared, he wore like a Kree Sentry uniform, and then he became a superhero here.
The green and the white, yeah.
And then Genis kind of wore a superhero costume, then went to a Kree soldier costume. Yeah, very weird. Like, I know Charlie Esser, I know you're reading this. You should read Peter David, who when we interviewed him called you a dumbass. I know. He did. Peter David called him a dumbass. I'm like, that's like a badge of honor. But yeah, Genis, the cosmic awareness is driving him insane. He eventually succeeds with the help of, what was the cosmic entities? It was like was it Epiphany?
Yeah, there were two new ones introduced. I think that Peter David introduced. Epiphany and... I'm
trying to remember. It was a brother and sister. It was like... they were like the children of eternity, I think.
Let's see.
Here's the...
Entropy and Epiphany.
Yes! Yeah, they're like the children of eternity. Yeah. And like Genis destroys the universe, but he kills, what were their names?
Entropy and Epiphany?
Entropy, and Entropy's like, I've accomplished my mission, now what? There's nothing left.
Yeah.
He's like, now Genis is like, there's nothing left. You know, why not start a new universe? He's like, okay, so like he like basically kills Entropy, which basically creates the Big Bang, which recreates the universe.
Yeah.
It's almost similar, but to go all Buffy the Vampire Slayer, there's differences. Like now, all of a sudden, Genis has a sister.
Philo.
Yes. Basically, history was altered enough where, like, I read all these issues a couple days ago, so I believe his mother said in this, because I'm assuming she remembers the changes, but other people don't, but she said in the original universe before the changes, you know, as we said, Genis was like a screw up in the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
In the new created universe, I guess he was pretty heroic from day one.
Oh, okay.
And it inspired his mother to say, hey, why don't I create another kid, and this time a daughter?
One is nice, two's better.
Yes! And I guess this one, since Genis was like pretty much perfect from day one, she was always striving to like, hey, brother, why don't you retire and give me the Captain Marvel name?
Yeah. And she becomes important because she eventually becomes
Quasar.
A Quasar, yes.
Yes. So she basically tries to be the new Quasar and the Captain Marvel.
Yeah. What is it with the Vell family and stealing other people's names? I mean...
I know! Especially Genis. He steals Captain... Well, in his defense, his father created the Captain Marvel name. But then once,
he takes it from Monica Rambeau.
But then when he comes back, as we'll get to, he takes the name Photon, and she's like, wait a second, I'll be in Photon.
I think she's called Pulsar now, is that it?
Yeah. So, Genis, I want to get to the last couple issues of this series, because Genis, like, basically pretty much becomes sane again for the most part.
Mm-hmm.
But there's like a time travel storyline where like Marlo comes back from like way in the future. She's immortal, but she's like nuts and like kind of evil. And so Rick and Mar-Vell start time traveling to like try to save her and all this. And they keep hitting different time points, and they meet Genis's son, at different points. And I guess at first he's like, I don't have any powers. I'm just immortal. And he's blaming Genis for like messing up, like, his, like, a songbird gets killed, his sister gets killed, so Genis is, so his son's blaming him for all this, and eventually his son gets like all these powers and like allies himself with the Magus.
Oh, great!
Adam Warlock's novel, yeah. And like, basically, I guess the Magus helps him get powers, and he's like all evil and like. He's like trying to kill people and stuff, and like, I guess basically to keep him from like killing, he's like, Genis eventually comes to the realization that his son is just irredeemable. So they're fighting in the future, and Genis is like, there's only one way to beat you. He's like, all I have to do is, he's like, and his son, he's just standing there, and his son's like, what are you doing? He's like, just making up my mind. And he's like, wait, what? And then all of a sudden, you see his son start fading, and he's like, no, don't do it, I'll be good. And he just, like, disappears.
Not have kids.
And, like, and Rick's like, what did you do? And he's like, not now. He's like, you don't need to, he's like, and Genis is, like, all angry. And it was like, so, like, there's, like, a 2 or 3 page prologue at the end of it. And Genis is like, he's like, well, they show him sitting in bed with like Songbird. She's asleep. She's sleeping, and he's like, years ago, I made the decision. I don't know how I was going to figure out when the night was, but this is the night. And they show him go to his son's room. His son's like still a baby.
Oh.
And he basically like smothers him.
Oh my God.
Yeah, because like through the whole storyline, him and Rick had been having this big discussion, the whole, if you could kill Hitler as a baby.
Hitler,
yeah. So basically, Genis is like, to save all these people, I'm going to kill my kid.
Wow.
Not too dark, Peter David. Not too dark, Peter David.
Yeah. How about you address the issues that created the response, whatever.
Exactly. Nurture?
Nurture? Yeah.
Lock
deal with the
nothing else.
Poverty in Europe. I don't know.
If nothing else, keep your son locked up or something.
Yeah.
To let him out of the house or something. And then we get the issue 25, the last issue of the last issue of any Genis ongoing solo series. Basically, Peter David just like for expediency, just like cleans everything up because the guy who works at Rick's and Marlowe's comic shop shows up and he's like, "Oh no, I'm not human. I'm what did he say his name was?
Marlowe just wishes away her problem at the end. I remember.
Yeah. Because she has this death wish thing where she wishes something happens. She's like, "I'll just wish away all my powers," and then
did I just do that?
And Marlowe comes back to Rick, and basically, and they're like, just like, "Oh no, she left with Moondragon because Moondragon kind of like manipulated her." And they're like, "Oh, that makes much more sense than she just wanted to experiment sexually."
Yeah. Okay.
They basically just clean everything up. It's like, oh, Rick and Genis were going to be separated, so hey. Peter David just like writes something on the panel, and then boom,
they're separated.
A rift opens up in the microverse. Hey, they're separated. So cleaning that up because I think it was only a few months later, Genis becomes part of the new Thunderbolts.
New Thunderbolts. I may have some of those. I don't know I don't think I've read them though.
Mm-hmm. Because those of you who don't know the Thunderbolts, first they were Baron Zemo and his Masters of Evil parading as heroes, and then some of them said, "Hey, why don't we actually be heroes?"
Actually, those first 12 issues of Thunderbolts, at the time, the first issue of Thunderbolts came out back in the 90s. There was no pre-press, there was no nothing. You're reading this, hey, it's the Thunderbolts. Yeah, they're good. Holy crap, they're the Masters of Evil.
It was like right before the internet got big. So yeah, they actually surprised people with, hey, because it was right when the Avengers and Fantastic Four disappeared, And so they're like, oh, the world needs new heroes. Who are these new heroes? I guess I kind of guessed the ending. I was so proud of myself because they appeared in the Hulk before that.
Yeah, they did. Yep.
And and the Hulk seemed to recognize Meteorite, and
That's right. Yeah.
I'm like, what? What blonde with powers does he know?
Moonstone. Absolutely. But that was, and the Thunderbolts was great. Hawkeye. I love Hawkeye because Hawkeye went and led them after the Avengers for quite a while.
One Zemo's like, I want to stay evil, and the rest, like most of them are like, no, we want to be heroes. Yeah, Hawkeye comes in and becomes their new leader.
Mm-hmm. Because he was wanting to, he's all about redemption. Yeah. He started out as a good guy, but then was a crook, and then, wanted to be a good guy.
But then I guess this came out like around Avengers Disassembled, so Hawkeye was dead. Thank you.
Yeah.
This. Oh wait. Me and Lilith, we have a button now. Where's our Bendis button? Yes, we have a Bendis button now. Where did I put that? Yeah, he has Hawkeye like jetpack up and like just like throw himself into a spaceship and kill himself.
Yeah.
Bendis. So no, I don't know if you read this, but yeah, like the former Beetle now. He was Mach 1, then he was Mach 2. By this point, it starts. He makes new armor. It's Mach 4.
Okay.
Because he even makes the joke. I think he tells Songbird, he's like, if I upgrade one more time, I'll have to put like a little kid and a monkey in the trunk.
That's awesome.
And Songbird's like, what? And he's like, oh, before your time.
Yeah. Go Speed Racer.
Oh, but It's funny because Songbird eventually kicks him off the team because you know where he gets the funds that they like start up the Thunderbolts again?
No.
Baron Strucker.
Oh. If it's Baron anything, you're not going to have good luck with him, okay? Just let it go.
Yeah, in the Marvel Universe, so their name is Baron, and especially if they have a monocle, don't take... So yeah, Songbird's like, you're done.
Let's see. Baron Zemo, Baron Strucker, Baron Mordo. Yeah, that's pretty much...
So yeah, Genis shows up, and like, Atlas is all worried he's going to like come between, I guess, Songbird and Mach 4, so he like basically beats him and throws him in the river.
So how do they bridge the gap between the end of his last series and when he shows up here at all?
Well, like I said, not really. I mean, like I said, he at the end of his solo series, he was separated from Rick Jones, and I think he basically says he was still having trouble with his cosmic awareness, especially like Atlas almost like beats him to death and throws him in the river, and he comes back like mysteriously. And he basically, when he comes back, because I think he comes back without the Negaband, because he basically, I believe he has powers without the Negabands. Mm-hmm. Where's his look? Because he...
Well, yeah, the Kree are stronger and...
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he basically has like a black and white costume with like a,
big star on it, yeah.
Yeah. It's all black, he has like white stars on it, yeah, his whole face is covered, but yeah, and then it's a weird thing because spoiler alert, they kill off Genis. Baron Zemo has like the Moonstones.
Oh, okay.
And supposedly he's like, I'm the one who, eventually they reveal he's the one who brought Genis back, but he's like, I borrowed like stuff from the Big Bang and like from the end of the universe, so like every breath Genis takes, he's like shortening the length of the universe.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. I'll get to this Fabian email in a second because he explains why it's so outrageous. But yeah, so then like they kill him. I guess Zemo like traps him in like 6 or 7 different time pockets.
They break him into pieces, right?
And then and he throws all those pieces in the Dark Force dimension. So there's even the line Zemo's like, he's never coming back.
Wait.
So I remember Kip. I kept waiting and waiting because I was like, wait a minute. I'm like, you can't just like get rid of him and have Zemo kill him off and not bring him back.
Yeah.
But I believe there might have been some kind of mandate about that.
It sounds kind of harsh.
Yeah, I mean, okay. Here, I wanted to get to that point where Genis died. Before I brought up the Fabian.
Yeah, the email from Fabian Nicieza, right?
Yes, because he brought up the death. So, all right, here's what he wrote to me. I said, share your thoughts. He said, my memories are that the entire concept was something I liked a lot about Genis. Mm-hmm. I'd been a huge fan of Captain Marvel, from Roy Thomas and Gil Kane to Jim Starlin to Steve Englehart, Al Milgrom to Doug Mensch, to Pat Broderick. I thought Genis-Vell was a concept that was a great idea. I just wish I had done a better job writing the book. He's talking about like the original series.
The 6 issues. Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It was released at a time when sales were constricting and Marvel's focus, as well as my own, were all over the place. I think it had some really good art in it from a young Ed Benes, and my fondest memory is that I got to pull an end around the X office to tell a really fun and revealing story with Adam X in issue 3. That one.
Yeah, we held up earlier, yeah.
All right, here's where we get to the Thunderbolt stuff. Ironically, years later, at the request of editorial, I had to kill Genis-Vell in Thunderbolts. I tried to do it in as most outlandish a way as I could possibly imagine, but it was so absurdly fantastical that he could and should, in parentheses, be brought back at some point. Since we already have a very solid Captain Marvel and Carol Danvers, I'd love to see Genis come back as Legacy.
Cool.
Yeah, he killed him very outlandishly so he could be brought back. Because basically, I don't know why Zemo's like, he can never be brought back. Just bring the parts back together.
Yeah.
And find the parts and bring them back together.
With sharks with frickin' lasers in an easily escapable trap.
Because, I mean, they kind of did like a weird outlandish death like that for Nate Gray, X-Man, and he's back now.
Yeah.
So they could do it. Mm-hmm. That's who I want. I want to, even if you got to do a team book, bring back Genis and bring back Wendell Vaughn.
Yes. No kidding. So that's, what was that 3-4 years ago? 5 years ago?
What, when they killed him?
Yeah.
No. This was Thunderbolts. They went back to the original numbering, so it's Thunderbolts 100. No, this was around Civil War. This was May 2006 issue.
Oh, okay. So that's 12 years ago. So he's been dead for 12 years?
Yes.
Wow.
That's what I'm saying. That's what even Fabian's saying. He needs to be brought back.
Mm-hmm. Cool.
Again, we have a Captain Marvel now in Carol Danvers, as we'll get to next episode.
Next episode, that's right.
in January.
Other things happening in January.
Oh, January is shaping up to be such a great month. Because we'll be talking to Kelly. Me and Matt will be talking to Kelly Thompson. Because she's going to be writing Carol's new series starting in January.
Speaking of other Captain Marvel news, the second trailer dropped. Did you see that?
You know what? I wanted to for tonight. I didn't get the chance.
Well, they explain what. Did
we get anything new?
We get to see Fury petting a cat. He's a cat person apparently, but we get to see why mean old Captain Marvel was punching that nice old lady.
Was it a Skrull?
Oh yeah,
of course.
And yeah, she doesn't scroll out or anything, but they fight on the bus, and she doesn't move like a little old lady. I did see an article this week that they were saying it might be a spoiler. I don't know if it was for some of the merchandise, either the toys or the Funkos or something. Mm-hmm. That when Carol's in like her Kree uniform, like the label for her name says Vers, Vers. So they're like, maybe the Kree call her Vers. Maybe they think Danvers is like a Kree name, like Danvers. Oh, Danvers. Yeah, there we go. That's interesting. Yeah, but we get to see in the trailer. There's a quick glance of Annette Bening as Kree something. I mean, we don't get to see Supreme Intelligence unless she's a Supreme Intelligence, but it's not. She is, it's not classic Supreme Intelligence.
Yeah, maybe it's like a walking around Supreme Intelligence, which is basically what the Kree took like their greatest minds and like combined it in this like giant floating head.
Green tentacle thingy, yeah.
Yeah, like it was like always in like a fish tank.
Which was basically at the heart of the Destiny War, which was in Forever War, which brought us Genis-Vell, right? As Captain Marvel.
Oh, and we'll get into a lot of this. Oh god, this is probably like another year out, but yeah, we'll get to Supreme Intelligence during Operation Galactic Storm. Plays a big part.
Yep, absolutely. Yep. Which was originally a Quasar crossover, or a Quasar storyline that they expanded out to the other Avengers books at the time, which is really kind of cool. So,
all right, let me look this up real quick.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead. Because I was going to say I'm going to look up some trades because I know people were asking me when we did like the first episode, like recommended reading and stuff.
Oh, so okay, easily Avengers Forever is one of them.
Yes, Avengers Forever. That's basically when Genis and Rick Jones get combined.
I don't think the first 6-issue series has ever been collected, has it?
I don't think. I'm looking up Genis-Vell trade paperbacks now. I'm not seeing the 6. I wonder if the back issue bins, they probably might not be that expensive, but yeah, it's like, what is that, 95, I think? God, I'm sitting right here. But Captain Marvel First Contact, I guess collects like the first arc from Peter David's run, so.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and we should probably warn viewers that, the Secret Invasion Captain Marvel series.
Oh, yes.
Has, 1, nothing to do with Genis, and 2, really nothing to do with Captain Marvel.
I mean, yeah, I'm trying to remember if Matt and I talked about that in episode 1, but yeah, since we're not going to devote a whole episode to that. Yeah, there was a Captain Marvel series in, what was it, around Secret Invasion, what was that, like 2010 or something?
Mm-hmm.
Where it looked like Mar-Vell had been pulled forward through time from before his death, but it was actually the Skrulls were invading. They had sleeper agents who didn't even know they were Skrulls until the signal went out. Yeah. And So he thought he was Mar-Vell, but there was something wrong with his programming, so they couldn't wake his Skrull side up. So
yeah, he was Captain Marvel, and
even when he found out he was a Skrull, he was like,
yeah.
He's like, Mar-Vell would want me to do the right thing.
Yeah. So I found Captain Marvel First Contact.
Yes.
Captain Marvel Nothing to Lose. Captain Marvel Volume 4 Odyssey. I don't see a Volume 3.
Odyssey was like towards the end. That's the one I said I was talking about his kid where he killed his own kid. That's like towards the end of the second the second Peter David ongoing. So
all right, let me check there because I should be able to find the title for the other one.
So yeah, so it looks like looks like most if not all the Peter David Genis-Vell stuff is collected.
I think it is, yeah.
There's some good stuff in there, humor-wise, action-wise, there's some good storytelling in there. I mean, Peter David could get dark sometimes or a little too goofy, but, I mean, overall, it's some pretty solid storytelling.
Oh, yeah. And the art was fabulous most of the way through. I mean, almost throughout the entire thing, yeah.
Like I said, you get a bunch of guest appearances. I think it's the second issue of this first Peter David ongoing. The Hulk shows up. They're fighting when to go. Like I said, there was a Drax and the Micronaut storyline. Well, 2 actually. Mm-hmm. In the second Peter David ongoing, Spider-Man shows up eventually. Thor shows up. So yeah. Oh, Thor shows up. Thor shows up in when Rick gets age 2 with that whole Thanos storyline. So yeah.
Plus we had Star Fox showing up.
Yes.
Moondragon. Hell, eventually.
Moondragon was in and out like most of the time in that Peter David stuff. So,
So yeah, it was an interesting series. Me personally, I just couldn't get into a lot of it. I think it was the tone. I guess there was too in-jokey maybe at times. I don't know.
The Peter David stuff?
Yeah, the Peter David stuff.
Yeah, that's like I said. Sometimes the jokes were a little, but I mean, like you could tell it's Peter David because, he tried to inject some of that humor into the Hulk sometimes too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But, I mean, yeah, I guess I agree with Fabian. I would be interested in seeing the character come back as Legacy and staying as Legacy. And
especially if you're not going to bring Mar-Vell back. Yeah, bring Genis back.
Mm-hmm. Yep, exactly.
That's our Christmas list, Marvel. We want Wendell Vaughn Quasar back in his own book, and we want Genis-Vell back.
Yeah. And, Nova would be nice, too. That was a good book when it was out during Annihilation. Yeah. So there you go. 3.
Richard Rider, Wendell Vaughn, and Genis. Team book.
There you go.
Let's get our new Star Masters.
Space Marvel right there.
Give us our Space Fantastic Four. Hell, throw Silver Surfer in. They see,
Why not? Yeah.
Seems like anytime it's space, they're like, oh, we need the Silver Surfer.
Yeah.
Hey, if it's going to sell it, hey.
Exactly. Yeah. So, you got anything else, man? I mean,
that's it for me. I was going to say, do you have it?
I think we pretty much hit most of the things. I'm trying to think. We were going to talk. So, yeah, for me, I think it's definitely worth reading. The tone kind of got to me in times, and that's Peter David. He's hit and miss sometimes, like any writer. So that's not a slam on him or anything.
Yeah. So yeah, you can read Genis's first appearances are in like those 90s Silver Surfers, and Fabian did the first 6-issue series, which you'll be able to tell it looks very 90s, and
it does look very 90s. Yeah.
toward the end in New Thunderbolts. So yeah, look for New Thunderbolts. But if you're looking for the Peter David stuff, like I said, Captain Marvel First Contact, I guess, is the first trade paperback. And like Will said, check out Avengers Forever because that's
definitely worth it. Yeah, that's where they set it all up.
They evolve Genis-Vell, and that's when they get spawned with Rick Jones, which I found very coincidental. Like father, like son.
Yeah, and he has to say Shazam at some point. Rick smashes the band and says Shazam. Yeah, I'm like, okay, really? Come on.
Well, I think they get the joke that it's like, somebody switching places with,
Yeah. Which is where Roy Thomas got it, in the 70s, right?
With that lad, Rick Jones, yeah.
That's right.
All right, so Like I said, send us your thoughts, or if you want to recommended reading for Genis-Vell, we can help you out. capesandlunatics@gmail.com. Follow Capes and Lunatics on Facebook, on Twitter @CapesLunatics, Instagram, and our voicemail for everything, 614-382-2737. That's 614-38-CAPES. And remember, check out Capes and Lunatics Sidekicks, where you can hear me and that man right there talk about
And
Quasar.
That's right.
And Matt Kona from episode 1.
Mm-hmm.
With the terror of the Boston comedy scene. All right. So, and if you're looking for something else to read, Will, what did you create?
I have a self-published comic called Diary of Night. You can find it at diaryofnight.com. And if you want to just talk to me, I am WALLRED at Gmail, Twitter, Facebook, the normal places. But yeah, it's if you want to talk Quasar, you want to talk Captain Marvel, just give me a shout.
Nice. All right, let's get out of here. It's been a pleasure as always, sir.
As always.
Like I said, next episode in January, get to Carol Danvers, get to the present Captain Marvel with me, Matt Kona, anyone else if they want to join us, and unless something goes down, special guest Kelly Thompson, Marvel writer who will be writing Carol Danvers' new ongoing series.
Hey, will they be able to watch that live?
Yes, right here on YouTube. So guess what? You should subscribe to our YouTube. Hit that bell. Because I was set it up ahead of time, so it'll tell you like at least 30 minutes ahead of time when we're going to be going live.
Sweet.
That's right. You can watch live on YouTube. Send us your thoughts. If you have questions for Kelly Thompson, send them. capesandlunatics@gmail.com. All right, everyone. Join us next time.